Guys, there's a possibility I'm about to get fired. So I just got let go from my job.
Welcome to the Common Sense Philosophy channel. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, and you?
Splendid. Today, the title is going to be Business Layoffs or Just Money Layups. Business Layoffs or Just Money Layups. Have you heard anything about these layoffs they're having lately?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, what you think about that?
I mean, job security's out the window. Man, everybody, I think people brought it on themselves with all them raises they was asking for.
Right.
Because the company is going to make that bottom line. And even if they got to let half of their staff go. So.
Yeah, they seem like they're against the wall a little bit with these businesses lately. So you got the AI situation. You have since the COVID situation, people had to go back to being inside because a lot of people was working from home, and many people didn't want to go back, but then they were forced to go back. And once they got there, they had this thing called quiet quitting. You remember that?
Yep.
They were quiet quitting, so they was barely really working while they were doing it. And so a lot of the ethics went down, and then you have everything else going on. So you have COVID, and then you get to these different shutdowns. So people, the work morale hasn't been real high with different jobs. So all these, and plus the business paying attention. And then we always got to remember the whole point of a business is not to give you a job. The whole point of business is to make money. So they're always going to be thinking of how to cut things out to help the bottom line. So, that's basically what this is about. Like I said, business layoffs or just money layups. Are they just laying up money? But we're going to watch a couple clips and we'll go from there.
All right.
I'm still in that phase of I can't believe I just got fired. If y'all saw my video a couple days ago, you would know that I just got laid off. Guys, there's a possibility I'm about to get fired. So I just got let go from my job. I was shocked. I still kind of am. And I'm I can't believe I'm still in that phase of I can't believe I just got fired every time I've woken up in the morning. But another part of me is just really excited to see what the future holds and knowing that my journey is obviously going to continue. And I think the greater things are to come. So the reason that it shocked me so much is because me and my boss, we meet weekly, if not every other week, go over how things have been. And so when he put a meeting on my schedule, I wasn't thinking anything of it. 10 minutes before the meeting, he was like, hey, so-and-so is gonna hop on from the people team. And I said, people team is HR. And mind you, they've been doing layoffs. I wasn't the first to go. And I'm thinking I'm good because I work on the social team. We just had a guy who got another job opportunity and he moved on. So I'm dang, if anything, we might be short-staffed over here. So ain't no way I'm gonna get fired. I was wrong.
There are more layoffs announced in October than in any October since 2003. And we've also hit 1 million layoffs all year. Do you know the last time we had more than 1 million layoffs in a year? 2020. How about before that, Nick? 2008 and 2009. How about before that? 2001. What do all of these things have in common? We are in a deep, deep recession. And the only thing holding any water right now is a bunch of tech companies swapping money repeatedly. Well, most of it's debt, but if you're like me and you're an accountant and you like to look at balance sheets sometimes, you will regret it immediately because a monkey could look at these balance sheets and see that these companies are full of shit.
I need you to understand one thing. If Amazon can cut 14,000 jobs 62 days before Christmas, what makes you think that your job would not cut you?
That was a good question. What's on your mind?
Yeah. Job security out the window, because usually around the holidays we start hearing or seeing the advertisements for seasonal workers. We just need people to come work for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and then those people that get hired in, they hoping that maybe after the holidays that they could get hired in just as an employee. So this is going completely in the opposite direction. They are actually letting go of their permanent employees right before the holidays. And I think people should be shook because that's like I said, that's completely opposite. They went from going to hiring extra people on top of their regular to we ain't hiring no seasonal employees. We're actually about to let some of y'all go. And I know that's got to be scary for people when they thinking oh, I got this job. I always say job security. Like, that's just something that has been pushed for a long time. It's job security. You need to get job security. Ain't no job secure.
No.
That's somebody else's situation, and they can decide to do or not do whatever they want to or not to do.
Yeah.
So you need to figure something out for yourself. That's something that you have more control over.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the way it is. You can't control somebody else's situation. That's somebody's company. They have a board of people, and all these people is to figure out what's best. And when, like you said, it's like, why you don't think they won't fire you? And the girl, she's like, well, she couldn't believe that she was let go because she was friends with her boss. But she don't understand her boss is not the boss. He's working under his own thing. So he might really do like her. And a lot of times you don't get let go just because you're a bad worker. You could be great at what you're doing. But that's not what this is about. It's about the bottom line. And the better you are, the higher you grow in the company, because that's the whole point. You're always trying to grow in the company. But the higher you are, the more money you make. So more money you're taking off the bottom line. So if they can get rid of you and add somebody in with less, or pay two people to do your job, split your job in half and pay them less because they don't have that name or title, then it's worth letting you go. And I think that's the part that is misunderstood as far as business. Like I said, a business is not made or prepared to give you a job. It's made for the bottom line. And I think that's the part that people they mess up on. But we're going to run some more clips, and we'll come back and talk again.
Okay.
Yep.
Between January and September 2025, there have been more than 946,000 job cuts announced, with roughly 300,000 from the government sector.
That's the highest since 2020, and it's a 55% increase from what we saw last year through the same time period.
It would make sense to think AI is to blame for the layoffs. So why are we seeing so many layoffs? And how much of it is because of AI? Wall Street has been hyping generative AI innovation for several years now, which is putting pressure on executives to make it a part of their business model. 79% of CEOs in the US said they feared they could lose their jobs within 2 years if they didn't deliver measurable AI-driven business gains.
Investors need to be a little careful with what some people have called AI washing. And what that is this idea that because business is deteriorating or there's some difficulty going on with the business, you say, oh, we're letting people go because of AI. No, you're letting people go because the business is hurting and calling it AI, and because Wall Street is buying anything with the letters A and I attached to it. And so what you might find is you would actually get a bump in your stock because you're letting people go because of AI.
There's this kind of financial fiduciary incentive for management teams to say they're using AI and say that strategies are related to AI, even if it's not totally related to AI. There's been surveys that have come out that found companies are attributing certain strategies and plans to AI, but it could be as simple as, using AI to write an email for you.
If you are job hunting right now, I need you to hear this. Layoffs are real. The hiring process is slowing down.
So I saw some numbers today that honestly scared me and breaks my heart in the process. So roughly a little over 150,000 people reported being laid off in October of this year, which brings the total number of layoffs that I can find from legitimate sources to almost 1.1 million people that have been laid off since January.
Man, since January, them some crazy numbers.
Yeah, it is. I'm just saying, the job situations, people get comfortable. They got comfortable and, I've been coming here for 5 years. I've been coming here for 10 years. Oh, my job is essential. No, nobody's job's essential like that.
No job is essential.
No job is essential. Like they're doing all these things and adding all this technology, and then most people aren't even trying to learn the technology. Right. They want to use it, but you don't want to learn how to actually capitalize on it or the intricate details of it, or you just know how to use it. But they can train anybody to come in and use that. And it, like you said, if you up in the company, they're going to pay you more. Well, they'll move you out and bring 2 people in, pay them less, and get more productivity from these 2 people paying them less. Like,
exactly.
So, I mean, you guys start looking at the job environment and what's involved in it, and try to be a boss so you can have control over your situation.
Yeah, either be a boss or understand that, because being a boss, saying a boss is, that ain't always it. That's how you get into this. Everybody's owns 6 businesses because everybody's trying to be a boss. But I think even if you're going to be a worker, understand what that entails. Okay, this job is this. How long can I work here? Is it a job I can stay at? I think jobs for 30, 40 years is really just not really out there like that. But if you see how long this job is, can you find other places in that business, or is that business part of a conglomerate that if something happens in this area, can you get transferred over here?
Right.
You should be paying attention to the market that you're in, So I think that what happens is, if you have that in you to be a boss, go be a boss. But there's levels of that. You can be a supervisor, but you can be the CEO of the company. It depends, but you have to figure it out. And there's all type of regulations. And when we just say boss, sometimes I think that's just threw out there. They were like, I'm a boss, I'm a boss, I'm a boss. And this is like, well, what are you? What are you doing? Do you even supervise yourself? So all that's important. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of pain and agony. I remember one lady, Tabitha, she came out and she said, all you guys that are bosses and trying to run businesses, it's time for you guys to chalk it up. So, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's coming and check us out. The Common Sense Philosophy channel. We appreciate it. This one is called Business Layoffs or Just Money Layups.
The layoffs are only going to continue. They did this last year and they're going to do it again this year. But they eliminated so many roles last year, and they did it in the most inhumane way ever. 2 days before Thanksgiving, 2 days before Christmas. They do not care. These companies do not care. Stop expecting mercy from these corporations. They are not for you. You are literally a number that they are easily going to be able to get rid of. Do you know what it feels like to be laid off? This is how it feels like. You wake up, you open your computer, you're like, I can't even log in. What the heck is going on? You check your phone, there's an email. Your role's been eliminated.
America just lost nearly 1 million jobs in 2025. Hey, CEOs still got their bonuses. Why does it feel like every other week somebody's job is getting tossed out like leftovers? By the end of September 2025, America already had nearly lost 1 million jobs. In October, over 170,000 layoffs announced across multiple sectors like tech, retail, hell, even government. Amazon just chopped 14,000 jobs. Carter's, those baby clothes people? They just cut 15% of their workforce. Meta just trimmed hundreds of people from its AI division. Oh, and UPS, they slashed 48,000 jobs.
Layoffs. Leadership gets into a room, and the majority of the time, they ask the question, how can we reduce costs with the least operational damage? They're not necessarily asking who is the underperformers. They're asking who can we get rid of and not really notice that we got rid of them.
I have some more dire economic news. I'm sorry we can't have our heads in the sand, but I am going to end this video with an empowering message on what you and I can do to hopefully turn this ship around. So October 2025, there were 153,074 layoffs, the highest layoffs in 20 decades.
I don't know if this is a trend. I don't know. I don't know if a bunch of companies got together and said, this is going to be the year. And they said, year? What year? UPS looked at them and was like, what year? Amazon looked at them like, what year? Everybody got together. And they said, this is going to be the year we about to off a lot of people out here. Now Verizon is now at the platform now. They just let go a lot of their employees.